In the land of Twitter, I'm sure everybody by this point have heard the news that former President Donald Trump will be reinstated on the platform. Now at this point, I don't think I need to explain to anybody how we got to this point or how Donald Trump was removed from the platform to begin with. Unfortunately, depending on who you ask, you are going to get very different answers to the question. If you are on the left, he is a horrible terrorist who tried to overthrow the government, and if you are on the right, he is a patriot who only raised very valid concerns when it comes to election fraud, and he only exercised his First Amendment right when it came to a very peaceful protest at the Capitol. Now the truth is most likely somewhere in the middle, but I'm not here today to discuss why he was removed from the platform. I want to discuss the fact that he's been reinstated on the platform. Now the way that he's been brought back to the platform is quite interesting. Over the week, Elon Musk has been reinstating quite a few prominent figures like Jordan Peterson and Babylon B, but the most requested person by far is most likely Donald Trump. Now there has been a lot of debate on whether or not the former president was going to be allowed to return to the platform, but over the weekend Elon Musk decided to do a Twitter poll where over 15 million people engaged with it, and it was quite split down the middle, with only 51.8% of the people saying yes, and as such Elon Musk tweeted that the people have spoken and that Donald Trump will be reinstated. Now again, this is a little bit of a divisive topic. It is quite literally split down the middle, and the media did not take the reinstatement of the former president very well. One article, The Atlantic, called it terrifyingly stupid for the former president to return. They said that the whole story and the decision revolves around two self-involved billionaires doing nothing but trying to get the public's attention. They said that it's an enormous waste of everybody's time, and pretty much that the former president should not be returning to the platform, and that kind of seemed to be the general consensus for most of the media when it came to them discussing Donald Trump coming back to the platform. I did here and there see a few articles of people trying to cover it kind of fair and balanced, but for the most part there has been a lot of negativity, at least when it comes to the media. Now I'm sure by this point most people don't really care anymore what the media has to say when it comes to these type of situations. People individually need to make up their minds, but at the end of the day it doesn't really matter. The platform is going to make the decision that they want to make, and people are gonna have to learn how to live with that, and that goes for the media as well. No amount of temper tantrums is going to affect the outcome. Now when it comes to Elon Musk and Trump, they do seem to have a little bit of a history, and I'm not sure how positive that history is. Donald Trump on his own platform Truth Social said that when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of those many subsidized projects, whether it was electric cars that doesn't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without enough subsidies he would be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican. If I would have said drop down to your knees and beg, he would have done it. Now I'm not sure exactly what Elon Musk did to deserve that type of response from the former president, but there definitely seems to be a little bit of animosity, at least from Donald Trump's side. Now when it comes to the question on whether or not he is actually going to be returning to the platform, Donald Trump did say at this point there is no reason for him to come back. He said in a recent interview that he's just going to stick to Truth Social and that he has no intentions of coming back to Twitter, but I think most people at this point know that that is not going to happen. I think Donald Trump is way too addicted to the attention, and the moment that his account gets fully reinstated, he will most definitely be returning to the platform, especially now that he announced that he will be running for president again as well. I think it will be a stupid decision for him not to return to Twitter, even if it's just to advertise his Truth Social website. I definitely think that it will be a missed opportunity if he does not come back, but again, as I've said, he's way too addicted to the attention. I do predict that the moment his account is fully reinstated on the platform, you will probably see him make a few tweets almost within the first 24 hours, if not quicker than that. Although on Twitter the opinions about Donald Trump returning has been a little bit divisive, it's also worth pointing out that Twitter is always split down the middle. When it comes to the overall reaction for him returning, I don't think that it's that controversial. You obviously have the news outlets and the online pundits who's freaking out about it one way or the other, some very much in favor and other people not so much in favor, but the general public, just the people as a whole. It's also worth pointing out that CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, they don't represent the majority of people, they don't speak for the people. So when I say just overall, I just mean the general public and what they think. And it also doesn't mean the deranged people on Twitter, it just means the general public on the internet. For the most part, I think most people are fine with him returning to Twitter, even if you do not agree with his opinions, even if you do not agree with his actions or his political beliefs. I think most people kind of unanimously are in agreement that you still deserve a platform to voice your concerns, to voice your opinions, and to say what you want to say, provided of course that you don't break any crazy rule. Now that Donald Trump is officially again a candidate for president of the United States, I think it's only fair that he's allowed to express himself again on Twitter, that he's allowed to push out his campaign again. I don't think it will be too fair if one candidate is allowed to have access to 300 million people and the other one does not. I think we are most likely going to see other platforms unbanning him as well. I think there's been a ban on YouTube if I'm not mistaken, and I do think that you are going to see them lifting that ban very soon. I also think that Instagram and Facebook are most likely going to be lifting their bans as well. Facebook did say that it was not a permanent suspension, so I think they will very soon be following Twitter and allowing Donald Trump to come back. It will be an extremely controversial decision if you do not allow a person that is a front runner for the 2024 presidency to come back to the platform and allow him to campaign online like all of the other candidates are going to do. But yes, as of right now, he is back on the platform, although his account is not formally reinstated yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the former president is going to act once his account is up and running again. I think we are probably going to see him tweet like crazy once more.